So he encounters that chatty old guy again, but this time he's snoozing by the roadside. Talk about getting old. Spotting the old man's friend up ahead, he couldn't help but chime in, going from warm-hearted uncle to a complete cold fish. He made an unnecessary gesture behind his back, only to find a mirror in front, nearly bursting into tears. The uncle, trying to seal the spotlight, casually tossed away the speaker in the room, making this whole situation sound comically dramatic. A surprise mix of punches and kicks triggered memories of high school bullying. He suddenly decided he was done taking it lying down. Fueled by a sudden burst of courage, he pulled out a hammer he had in his bag. He meant to hang a painting but ended up giving the uncle a headache instead. As reason returned, he watched the hit uncle incredulously, grinning foolishly and mumbling about home. It was quite a sight. The uncle flopped down like a rag doll, realizing his words and shivering in fear. Just then, a woman walking her dog came by. Luckily she was a blind lady, but her dog was happily dancing around the corpse like it just won a prize. Dazed, he stumbled back to his apartment, scrubbing like mad to wash the blood off, trying to clean his conscience away. The massive fear triggered hallucinations. He constantly visualized the old man's pleading face, and it was a real mind-boggling experience. His heart ached. Was this really how his life would end? It felt like his conscience was on a never-ending interrogation spree. After a sleepless night, he accidentally read something on the wall, and suddenly it hit him he left the murder weapon behind. Even if the rain washed everything clean, the police managed to dig up clues from the convenience store surveillance footage. When he was questioned, he looked as nervous as a cat at a dog show. "So you're the culprit, right?" he whispered. "Do you even know me?" As he nervously recounted last night's events, the pressure felt as heavy as a mountain. Just when he was about to confess, Detective Zhang's colleague dug up new evidence. Talk about a plot twist. The evidence revealed that just when he borrowed the hammer, a fly blocked the view as if fate helping him out. Meanwhile, the police contacted his wife in prison to verify the situation, and it turned into a wild revelation. They found out that the old man frequently visited her, indeed having some close encounters with his wife that connected to everything. Turns out, the old man always cared about old-less kids, weaving a web of connections. Originally, his wife planned to divorce after their child was independent to be with the old man. Wow, this plot just got super complicated. Then news broke about the old man being a serial killer. Did he unknowingly take down a bad guy? These students were so brave, thinking, what a helpless twist of fate this truly is. Just when he thought it was all behind him, that blind girl took the hammer he lost that night. Talk about an epic twist. The next day, the blind girl made a beeline to the convenience store. When she saw him, she demanded $2 million to keep quiet. Talk about interest colliding. He was dumbfounded, insisting he didn't know the blind girl. It was tough to tell friend from foe here. It was incredible to realize that she was just a disguised blind person, leaving him on the verge of laughing out loud. She gave him a few days to raise the money, or she'd take the evidence to the police like he was being shaken down for protection money. He borrowed money from friends by any means necessary. Even selling his newly bought Apple, it was a real broke situation. He even went to the convenience store owner to get an advance on his pay just to scrape up the cash. What a desperate measure. Following the woman's info, he went to her house, expecting her to keep quiet, but she unexpectedly changed her tune. She demanded $2 million a month, turning this into an infinite game. He thought, as an average Joe, he couldn't possibly afford that, so he snapped, snatching the hammer and delivering a fateful blow. Watching her collapse, he hurriedly snatched the cash and hammer, completely oblivious to leaving his fingerprints on the door lock. A few days later, the milk delivery guy noticed the pile of milk at the door, like a mini mountain, raising his suspicions. When he climbed in, what he saw shocked him to his core, and he immediately called the police. However, the police found no fingerprints or evidence of his presence. What a misunderstood situation. Turns out, blood from the deceased woman drew her clever dog to the chaos. What a wild scene. The dog believed it was being treated to a feast, and thoroughly licked the place clean. When the police came to investigate, the dog dug a hole in the yard, shockingly unearthing some bones. After investigation, they discovered these were the remains of the blind girl's mother. The police certainly hit the jackpot. The police only found the puppy's saliva on the cups and floor. Looks like the dog's innocent after all. The police could only carry out investigations through the dog's droppings. What a rough job for the poor pup. Meanwhile, he was still pondering repeatedly on why the police had tarried so long in coming for him yet. He chose to hang himself. Now he was in a state of despair within despair. Banai and her friends kept knocking outside, breaking him from his internal struggle. It was absolute despair. Having paid back his friends, he drunkenly headed to KTV to drown his sorrows. An old cop with the blind girl's dog passed by his building. The dog suddenly barked like it wanted him to help. Two thugs wanted to take the old cop down, only for our main guy to discover from the news that the blind girl was the killer of her own parents.